So this next video is kind of different. You know, when I first decided that I was gonna start sharing my research with the public, you know, when I decided that I had accumulated so much evidence that supports the existence of Sasquatch, and that evidence I decided needs to be shared, needs to be shown, I had promised myself that I was going to stay away from research that could be considered, you know, pareidolia or paranormal. I wanted to focus on converting non-believers into believers. And I wanted to only present things that your average everyday person could look at and go, okay, yeah, I get that. That doesn't make sense, or that does make sense. But the thing is, the deeper I've gone down this rabbit hole of Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, you know, the more I've investigated, the more experiences I've had, the more I've concluded that there is a, for lack of a better word, paranormal element to this topic. You know, when you look at the work of like Jeff Milgram and you know, people like him, they've tried to claim that they believe that we are looking for a primate in the mountains, in the woods. Now, a primate in the mountains or in the woods, we would have captured one by now. Or there would be a team of scientists monitoring them, following their tracks, and it's obvious to me that people like that, Jeff Milgram type Sasquatch researchers, they know damn well Sasquatch isn't just some undiscovered primate. They know we're dealing with something much more than that. You know, and I'm sorry to say, but Sasquatch isn't just a cousin to the humans that's very elusive and very sneaky. There's something more to them than that. In this video, this is kind of a follow-up to that orb that I captured, that weird white blob of light that was traveling through the trees, because that same game camera captured something else now. And what it captured is pretty bizarre, and I've been kind of on the fence if I was going to make a video about this or not, because when I saw it, I was blown away by it. Blown away by what I found on that game camera. But I showed it to other people, and they apparently can't see what I can see. And so I've had some, you know, mental battles over whether I was going to present this or not, but I have to present what I found. Because what I found shows a bipedal Sasquatch-shaped figure, almost translucent-like, appear and disappear, like it's cloaked or like it just stepped into a different dimension. And it's hard to see, but it's there. You know, you can see the feet, the legs, the ass, and the back, and maybe the head, and it's there. It's moving, it's triggering the game camera, and then poof, it's gone. But yet something still keeps triggering the game camera after it disappears. So this was filmed by the same game camera. Like I said, this is directly beneath two arches that I've been monitoring. And I actually have watched one of these arches get formed little by little. And it showed me that these arches aren't made at once. That whatever's building these arches is doing it gradually. You know, they bend it a little, they wedge it, and it holds. Then they bend it a little more, they wedge it, and it holds. Bend it a little more, until they get it the way it wants. Because when I first found these arches, only one of them was bent completely horizontal with the ground. The other one was barely an arch. But now, this last time I checked on it, it's almost all the way horizontal now. And so that this just in a few months, I've watched this arch form. You know, I didn't watch them actually do the physical work, but I've been checking it periodically, and I've watched it go from barely arched to way more of an arch, and it is directly below that arch. With this game camera's there, and this game camera has caught that weird orb anomaly. It captured those weird lights in the trees, and now it's captured what looks like a cloaked Sasquatch disappearing into the fog of the morning fog. It's really strange. I'm going to do the best I can to zoom in and enhance it and try to show you what I'm seeing. And I would love to hear your thoughts, comments. You know, by all means, I'm curious what you guys think of what I'm about to show you. Because, I mean, it was really, it blew my mind. And it's just so weird to me that I've showed it to other people and they can't see it. So I'm just, anyway, you're about to see it. So I want you to pay attention to directly above the A. Right here. There's a figure right here. And that's the only thing that's going to be moving that is triggering the motion detector. See how it's there? It moves, it moves, it moves. It's move, disappeared, gone. And now it'll come back. It's back, it's gone. It's back, it's gone. Back, it's gone. And here it goes. You can see a leg and what looks like maybe a shoulder. And then here the leg kind of connects, the ass, back. And then here it kind of gets broke up because that's where the movement is. It's that thing moving, gone. And then the movement is then in that blob, that black blurry blob there, because technically this whole area shouldn't be there. It doesn't make sense because if you look over here, it's foggy, sure, but see how deep you can see into the forest over here? Right here, there shouldn't be anything blocking it. It's all open right there because that shows what it looks like in the daylight. Yet there's some block there, and in the middle of that block is that humanoid looking object. There's a leg, a back, and it moves. It has movement, and then gone. Totally gone. And then this thing, if you look close at the blob, up near where the arrow is, there's movement in the blob there. And that movement is what is triggering the game camera to continue to take pictures after that thing disappears. Because see, there it is. There's a leg coming from the ground. And it almost kind of seems like there's a head here. And I feel like you can see an ass in some of the movements. I mean, it's super vague, but it's a leg coming to the ground, connecting to a body, moving, and then boom, gone. And then it's weird because even after it disappears, even in the area where it disappeared from, there's still some kind of movement there. And then all through this weird cloud of blurry darkness, I continue to see movement like a swirl. Because something has to be triggering these pictures. Because there, the figure's gone. Yet something made it take a picture. Here's another picture. Here's another picture. So there were 3 pictures of just this weird cloud of darkness. And then there's 3 pictures with that object. Because there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. And then gone. And then that's 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I know that right over here, this is where the white orb was captured weeks prior. And then also I have the weird lights and beams of light that shot all through these trees. So it's 3 pretty amazing anomalies all captured right here on this camera in the exact same spot. And I'm going to show you what the arches look like. I have some pretty good footage of the arches. The double arches are pretty unique. I find a lot of single arches, but finding 2 big arches side by side like that, I think that has something to do with energy or something. I used to think that those arches were simply ramps up into the canopy above, something that the young ones could climb on to get up in the trees, but I'm starting to think that these arches have more purpose than that. I mean, just because all these anomalies I'm capturing directly below them, there's something going on here, something weird. So this arch here, that one there, this is where I captured the anomaly, the white orb-like ghost anomaly. And here's the other arch. Now this arch, it has been bent further. It used to not have such a sharp bend. And so they are definitely doing this gradually, because when I first found this one, it wasn't arched that much. And now it's arched more. And that one there, that one was always arched that way. And I have another game camera out here. I just can't find it. And it's pissing me off. This is a really kind of spooky part of the forest right here. Especially after I got that orb thing. This is pretty cool. Because the first time I saw this one, see, there's the scarring where it's been wedged and it's scraping and rubbing. It's been twisted. But this one didn't have this sharp of a bend on it when I found it. The first time it was just barely starting. And that was, a couple months ago. And it was this one way over here. This one's pretty insane. Because look where the base of that is. That one should be going up with that tree. Instead, it goes up way, way, way over here. And it has scarring all up and down that tree. Started way up there, had to get it over those branches. Down, 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 scarring. And that's a pretty sharp arch. And so it's going to be interesting to see if they get this one to bend as sharp as that one. Because it's definitely bent a lot sharper than it was a month ago. And it seems like they're starting a new one over here. 'Cause in fact, yeah, see, I don't think I remember that one even. I have to look at the old videos. But I think they're starting to bend these ones. And this is where that orb was captured. So there's something special about this place. Definitely has a phenomenal view from up here. I'm going to get to my truck down there. And this is nasty, nasty hiking through here. I do want to talk about this real quick, actually. See, that's a natural tree break. And when it fell over, the center of its mass bows down towards the pull of gravity. That is what a natural fallover should look like. Just gets snagged up in the branches and just sits there. It's totally normal. That's what a tree does. It doesn't do that. Or that. Even these pictures, these are daytime pictures, and I can't even figure out what's triggering these. But these, I can see what's triggering them, and it's that guy, that thing right there. There's 1, 2, 3, and gone. Boom. So something that was just pointed out to me by a friend of mine. He's a little more observant than I am at times. But I want to show you. See where the arrow is? This is like a corridor into the trees right here. Nice little walkway. You could go deep, deep into there. And then, after the thing disappears, the movement tends to be where that arrow is. It's hard to see, but it's there. The movement is where the arrow is. And that would mean that if that thing steps forward, like it seems to, because here it is, there it is, it's moving, 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 then it disappears. But then the movement is all in the vicinity of where that arrow is, which would then possibly be it walking this way, going through this corridor between the trees. Because it went somewhere. I mean, it just disappeared. And at this point, you can't see it anymore, but there's movement in that cloud. And it's very likely that that's what's going on, is it's walking away. And this cloud somehow is some kind of like protection blocking its visibility from that camera. You know, like countless people have said they have weird cloaking abilities and so on and so forth. And, you know, I never wanted to believe that. I always thought it seemed a little too kooky, but I mean, I can't deny the experiences I've had and what I'm seeing right here with my own eyes. I mean, there's clearly something there. It's moving, and then it's gone. And then something is continuing to trigger the motion detector. And it really does appear that it's moving right into the trees. And this damn black cloud is just obscuring it.